We all remember when Feastables dropped, right? MrBeast, the guy who literally gives away private islands for fun,
I bought this ginormous private island and I'm giving it to one of you in this video.
launched a chocolate bar and the internet lost its mind. 1 million bars sold in 72 hours. Stores couldn't keep it stocked. People were reselling $3 chocolate bars for $50 on eBay like they were concert tickets. It was absolute chaos. But here's the thing nobody wants to talk about. That empire, it's crumbling. And honestly, watching it fall apart has been more satisfying than any golden ticket giveaway could ever be. Now, before you think I'm just hating, let me walk you through how MrBeast managed to fumble a chocolate bar. We're talking about a guy who turned YouTube into an Olympic sport, who built literal Willy Wonka factories, who makes giving away Lamborghinis look casual.
And 9 other cars.
That's a lot of cars.
Right, Laserbeam? I'm just here because I'm Australian.
Somehow, he couldn't figure out how to sell candy. The story behind Feastables isn't just about a failed product, it's about lies, lawsuits, and a PR disaster so messy that even his most loyal fans started saying, "Let it go."
No, Jimmy, this is a no. Just no.
So let's rewind to January 2022. MrBeast announces Feastables with this genius pitch: clean chocolate, only 5 simple ingredients, and a modern-day Charlie and the Chocolate Factory experience. Every bar came with a code for a chance to win Teslas, jet skis, even a real chocolate factory. The tagline was perfect: simple ingredients, epic prizes, and people bought it, literally. Within weeks, the brand pulled in $10 million in revenue. By late 2024, Feastables had raked in over $250 million. Not bad for a YouTube side hustle, right? But here's where it gets interesting. MrBeast didn't just claim his chocolate was good, he claimed it was objectively better than Hershey's.
If everything tastes better than Hershey's, what makes us special?
He ran his own blind taste tests on camera, pitting Feastables against the classics and shouting, "It's not even close. Mine is so much better." His army of subscribers believed him. Why wouldn't they? This is MrBeast. The guy doesn't do small, except the internet started running its own tests. And guess what? The results were brutal. Common tasting notes kept appearing, overly sweet.
This is really good.
The texture is great.
Gritty texture, tastes like a protein bar. One viral TikTok with 6 million views had a devastating one-word caption: mid. For those not fluent in Gen Z, that's short for mediocre. And in the internet economy, mid is the kiss of death for a brand claiming superiority. Now, creating a viral video is one thing. Distributing a perishable food product on a global scale, that's an entirely different beast. Feastables sourced its cocoa from Peru, leaning into this ethical premium narrative. But that cocoa then had to travel to various co-packers across the US and abroad. Tariffs ate into thin margins. Container shortages caused crippling delays. A former operations manager told Food Dive that the team spent more time tracking freight containers and navigating customs paperwork than they did tweaking recipes. Imagine running a food company where the primary focus isn't the food, but just getting it from point A to point B. That's a recipe for disaster. Retailers who screamed for more pallets in the spring were stuck with mountains of expired inventory by fall. Fans who found a bar often discovered it was chalky, discolored, or bloomed. That unappetizing white film from cocoa butter separating in sweltering trucks and warehouses. Nothing kills buzz faster than a melted or missing product. And when photos of moldy chocolate started spreading online, Feastables responded with a single dismissive tweet: "It's just cocoa butter migration, still safe to eat." No video from MrBeast, no detailed reassurance, just a tweet. For a brand built on trust, that was a massive unforced error. And speaking of trust, let's talk about the PR nightmares. First came the "clean up our displays" controversy. In early 2023, MrBeast tweeted a photo of a messy Walmart shelf and offered $5,000 to fans who would tidy up Feastables displays and send him photos. Sounds innocent, right? Except people online flipped. Critics accused him of using unpaid fan labor to manage his brand's retail presence. It felt exploitative, turning his fans into free merchandisers. Then came the ethical sourcing questions. Reports started asking uncomfortable questions about where Feastables' cocoa came from, with claims the supply chain might involve farms tied to child labor in West Africa, the same criticism that's haunted Hershey's and Nestle for years. To be clear, there's no evidence MrBeast personally knew about it, but once that conversation starts, you can't put it back in the wrapper. The optics were brutal. How do you sell wholesome kids chocolate when people are tweeting about exploitation? But wait, it gets better. The Children's Advertising Review Unit, a division of the Better Business Bureau, flagged Feastables for misleading advertising. Their findings were deeply concerning: unclear disclosure and misleading odds on the giveaway sweepstakes. Kids genuinely believed they had a real shot at winning a chocolate factory tour when in reality, the odds were astronomically small. The company was forced to issue corrective tweets and add disclaimers to videos. Nothing evaporates a brand's cool factor faster than a federal watchdog calling your biggest promotion potentially unfair to minors. And then there's These Nuts lawsuit. In 2023, Feastables launched a peanut butter flavor with that name, clearly meant as a joke because it's MrBeast. Except another small snack company, These Nuts LLC, had already trademarked that name, and they weren't laughing. They filed a lawsuit claiming trademark infringement, arguing that MrBeast's team knew about the brand and used the name anyway because it was memeable. Imagine running a $250 million company and one of your biggest controversies is over these nuts. Now, if you follow MrBeast, you know about the Beast Burger saga, another ambitious food venture that turned into a public relations nightmare with lawsuits over unacceptable food standards and catastrophic operational issues. While Feastables was legally separate, the average shopper doesn't care. They see one name, MrBeast. When that name is associated with public battles over inedible food, it creates a massive red flag that bleeds over onto everything else he touches. At the peak of the Beast Burger chaos in summer 2023, retail data showed Feastables sales dip by a significant 18% week over week. This was no coincidence. At launch, Feastables retailed for around $2.99 per bar, a premium, but still in the impulse buy zone. However, as 2023 wore on, supply chain inflation nudged that price upwards. The bar crept from $2.99 to $3.49, then to an eye-watering $3.99 in some stores. Asking consumers to pay $4 for 2.1 ounces of chocolate was commercial suicide. Reddit threads became a hotbed of criticism with comments like, "Why would I pay double for a smaller bar just to help a millionaire flex on his YouTube channel?" The value proposition had evaporated. Grocery buyers confirmed this story. Sales velocity plummeted the moment the price jumped past the $3 psychological line. With sales plummeting, the internal pressure mounted. According to a leaked slide from an all-hands meeting, leadership slashed marketing spend by 40%. The Crunch variety was discontinued within 9 months of launch. But the most damaging cut came from the ingredients themselves. Suppliers were reportedly told to find cheaper cacao substitutes. A former food scientist posted anonymously, "We reformulated 3 times in a single year. By the end, the only thing that remained unchanged was the wrapper." This constant tinkering, driven by a desperate search for cost savings, stripped away the brand's very essence. By spring 2024, the writing on the wall became unavoidable reality. Major retailers began to quietly delist Feastables. Whole Foods dropped it nationwide. Target trimmed its SKUs from 4 varieties down to 1. Walmart relegated the bar to only its largest supercenters. The industry newsletter Shelf Snap reported a staggering statistic. Feastables' ACV had dropped a shocking 62% year over year. This isn't a minor setback, it's a full-blown freefall into retail oblivion. So why did Feastables actually fall? Well, firstly, manufacturer demand. People didn't buy Feastables for the chocolate, they bought it for the clout. Once the giveaways ended, so did the dopamine rush. Then the product quality. At the end of the day, the bars weren't special enough to survive the hype. They were mid. Competitors matched or beat the flavor for less, and the audience just aged out. The same teens who bought Feastables in 2022 are in college now, and they're not chasing chocolate codes between classes. MrBeast will keep dropping videos and racking up billions of views. His personal brand remains an unparalleled force, but his chocolate empire, it's melting faster than a candy bar left in a hot car. The satisfying part of this story is watching pure hype collide with brutal real-world reality. Attention is rented, trust is earned, and a product cannot subsist on giveaways and a famous name alone. In the end, it has to deliver. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. But one thing's for sure, Feastables didn't just fail, it face planted. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.